Hello students, this video is about cultural studies. Generally, there is a view that cultural studies is quite a difficult topic, which is actually not the case. Cultural studies rather is a very easy topic, and this video aims at presenting cultural studies in very simple words and also connecting cultural studies with the everyday culture and lifestyle. To start off with, cultural studies is an interdisciplinary school of thought. So it does not involve one discipline, and cultural studies actually talks about the everyday culture, the 24 hours in a day, the 365 days in a year, the kind of life that we live. Each and every one of us live a kind of life, and how does this kind of life is being lived. So this cultural studies talks about the politics which is involved in that. To understand cultural studies, we should understand that cultural studies as a discipline started around 1960s with the establishment of BCCS, Birmingham Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies, which was established by Richard Hogarth. The first director of BCCS is Richard Hogarth, and the second director is Stuart Hall. And they predominantly, this group called BCCS, they predominantly focused on culture. And some important members include Stuart Hall, Raymond Williams, and Richard Hogarth. And culture is not, or rather, it is not the first time people started to talk about culture. People like T.S. Eliot, critics like T.S. Eliot, writers like Arnold, they were talking about culture even in the Victorian era and in the first half of the 20th century. But the culture that T.S. Eliot and Matthew Arnold stood for was elite culture, was standard culture. Their focus is not on the common man, is not on the working class. Here, BCCS focused on the everyday life of, say, the working class people. And cultural studies, according to Raymond Williams, looks at, say, culture which is considered to be ordinary. In the words of Raymond Williams, culture is ordinary. So there is a difference between the culture that was endorsed or which was talked about by T.S. Eliot, Matthew Arnold, and this group, the group called BCCS. People like Arnold, Eliot, they were focused. They focused on high culture, elite culture, standard culture. But here the focus is on the culture of the working class people, culture of the people and their everyday lifestyle. So this is the focus of BCCS. Okay. So what is culture then? Culture is the kind of life that I live, the kind of life that we live. Each and everyone, say, buy a good, they have certain practices, and what makes us buy certain products? What makes us behave in certain ways? What makes us think in certain ways? So to answer this question, cultural studies makes an attempt. Cultural studies makes an attempt to answer the question, why do we live the kind of life that we live? And to understand the answer for this question, you just cannot focus on one discipline. Rather, the focus should be on many disciplines like politics, commerce, sports, education, and so on. Say, for example, it is it is a universally accepted fact that politics and commerce have a link, and there is a link between sports and commerce, and there is a link between media and politics. So, to understand the kind of life that we live, all these factors, all these disciplines are taken into consideration, and then some sort of an understanding is derived about the kind of life that a person lives. Okay, and the first director of BCCS, as you all know, is is Richard Hogarth, and the second director is Stuart Hall. Another important member of this movement is Raymond Williams. And the 5 branches of cultural studies are feminism, postmodernism, then post-colonialism, new historicism. So I repeat, the 5 branches are feminism, post-colonialism, postmodernism, new historicism, and Marxism. So these are the 5 branches of cultural studies. And cultural studies generally talks about the working class people and how the working class people are exploited by the rich hegemonic forces, the capitalists. And generally, it tries to deal with the power dynamics. And Michel Foucault says power is everywhere. We should not think that power lies only with the rich. We should not think that power lies only with the ruling class. Say in a family, say for example, the father sometimes is powerful, sometimes the mother is powerful, and sometimes the child is powerful. Not all the time the father and mother win. Sometimes the child has its own power. So we should understand that power is everywhere. All right. So that the power dynamics is dealt with, and apart from that, it focuses predominantly on the role of mass media. And some examples for that could be Communication by Raymond Williams and Long Revolution by Raymond Williams. And according to Raymond Williams, culture is ordinary. And they do not actually talk about working class culture alone. They say that culture could include the culture of, say, lower middle class, high class, anybody's culture. So that is what they mean, BCCS. And according to them, culture is ordinary, and culture is the life that you live every day, the 24 hours in a day, how you live, that is culture. Therefore, culture studies is directly associated with our everyday livelihood and everyday lifestyle. And in Communication, a book by Raymond Williams, he says, culture is produced. Culture is not something which exists very naturally or very normally. Rather, culture is produced, and this culture is created through mass media, through communication technology. So in order to make a person buy a product, all right, say for example, I'm just giving an interpretation here. This is not Raymond Williams's view, just an interpretation to make you understand the topic. Say for example, a customer wants to buy a product, and what will the company do? The company, the capitalist, will create an ideology, and this ideology, when accepted, the customer becomes a potential buyer. All right, the customer may go on to buy the product, and if the customer does not relate with the ideology, does not accept the ideology, he will move away from that product. So ideology plays a very crucial role in cultural studies, because in say buyer seller relationship, the seller's ideology is promoted, is endorsed through mass media, through various communication technology. And only when the buyer accepts this ideology, the buyer's mind here is targeted, and only when this brain accepts something to be standard, something to be say of high quality, then this buyer goes on to buy that. So ideology plays a very significant part. And coming back to Raymond Williams, what I gave was just my interpretation. So coming back to Raymond Williams says through television, radio, mass media, and other communication technology, the capitalists, they try to create culture. They try to impact the lifestyle of the common men, the lifestyle of upper middle class, say for example. All right, it could be any class. And this is what he says in communication. And in the book Long Revolution, he says one day the common men will own communication technology. Probably he foresees things, I would say. Today we have access to social media like WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and all that. So everybody can reach out to say thousands of people within minutes or within hours, within days. You can say reach out to say 50,000 people or 30,000 people, depending on your followers. So when ordinary people own communication technology, when working class people own communication technology, they will promote two things. Number one is popular culture. And what is popular culture? Popular culture is the culture of the working class people, of the ordinary people. And number two, they will promote democratic values. So these are the two things that that will happen when a long revolution comes in. And how will this long revolution happen? When ordinary working class people, they also go on to own communication technology. All right, so this is something on Raymond Williams. And new historicism, as we all know, is a term coined by Stephen Greenblatt. New historicism is also part of cultural studies, and cultural studies to some extent is skeptical about what is being said in history, because history is told by a winner in a race, in an election, in a a war. All right, or a contest. The winners, the person who succeeds, goes on to write history, and that will be from his or her own subjective perspective. It is to be understood that all knowledge in this world is subjective. And when new historicism emerged, their focus was on say understanding the history from a subaltern perspective, history from the perspective of the other. So to understand the history, to revisit the history, new historicists, they go on to they go and visit literature, say advertisements, pamphlets, say on all that, and they try to say revisit or reconsider the facts that are put forth in history. So thank you. Thanks for listening to the video. Thank you.
capture.